Notable works of mine have included the memorial to C.S. Lewis and Sir John Gielgud for Westminster Abbey, and the memorial to Edith Cavell for Norwich Cathedral.
This episode is being supported by one of my businesses, a brilliant local business called Stortford. If you've ever moved house, you'll know the pain of hunting for cardboard boxes, building them, taping them up, and then figuring out what to do with them afterwards. Stortbox makes moving simpler with strong, reusable moving crates delivered straight to your door and collected when you're finished. Less stress, less waste, and a much easier move. It's a local business helping local people move smarter. So have a look at Stortbox in the show notes below and see if it can make your next move a little bit easier. Okay, back to the episode. Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders, and local legends shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Wayne. Wayne, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Wayne, for those of us who don't know you yet, who are you and what do you do here in Bishop Stortford?
So I am a craftsperson at Grandy's place, just outside of Greentie. I'm specifically a letter carver in stone and wood, type designer, sculptor, glass engraver, feature a few things. Notable works of mine have included the memorial to C.S. Lewis and Sir John Gielgud for Westminster Abbey, and the memorial to Edith Cavell for Norwich Cathedral. And I sit on a number of boards as well. So I sit on the Fabric Advisory Committee for St Edmundsbury Cathedral. I'm an ambassador of the Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Trust, a board member of the Church Monument Society, and a board member of the Contemporary Glass Society as well. So,
Wayne, how did all this get started?
originally, I wanted to do graphic design. So I'd asked my teacher at school, what can I do? Well, I always enjoyed art and design, let's put it there. And I went to my art teacher and said, how can I earn money from doing this? And he said, become a graphic designer. So I did a national diploma in graphic design. So I put all of my eggs in one basket rather than doing A-levels, and fell in love with typography when I was there. And later went to study typography at the University of Reading and met a lady there called Caroline Webb, who was a letter carver. And with the degree, you do a self-directed project at the end. And most people were designing their websites because they were going into publishing or other areas of typography. And I went to her, she gave me a lump of stone and showed me some basics. And then for a few weeks, I was carving. And then from there, went to a man called Richard Kindersley in London, who sadly died last year, but a very notable carver. He took me under his wing for 3 weeks just for some experience. And it was the day that I finished there, I was offered an apprenticeship that I had been unsuccessful with prior, and was asked if I'd still be interested. The lady in London, and then went to see the studio in Cumbria, and then was there for the next 3 years. So,
And how did you transition from doing that kind of work to the incredible works that you've mentioned? Gielgud, C.S. Lewis. These are incredible opportunities for you.
I mean, C.S. Lewis came very early on. It was probably the second job I got when I went on my own. Much of that was down to networking. So when I was doing my apprenticeship, I wasn't just doing the apprenticeship. I was raising the funding. So I raised over 24,000 for the second and third years. But I was also going to galleries and meeting people and trying to get my name known, I guess. And one of those people was Dr. Julian Lytton, who I met. I'd gone home to King's Lynn in Norfolk, where I'm from, and this man started talking to me at this exhibition, and the manager then came over. I'd done work experience at this art centre when I was 14, so I knew all the staff there. And she came running over like, that was Dr. Julian Lytton. He worked at the V&A for 33 years. And So he invited me for lunch and gave me one of my, if not the first commission I did on my own whilst I was an apprentice. And through he sat on he was one of the trustees and also a board member of Westminster Abbey, and he put my name forward. And the rest was history with that.
Brilliant. You've got to take action. You've got to get out, meet people.
And it's the same for any career path. Like, you've got to be in the right place at the right time. Otherwise, someone else will take that spot. So you have to put yourself there.
When did you start at Grandy's? What was that process like?
I had been in Manchester. I had a studio in Manchester for a total of 8 years, although there was a bit of a break in between. At the time, I was looking at moving closer to Norfolk. My grandparents were getting elderly, and I wanted to be around family a bit more. And through the Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Trust newsletter, which is sent out to alumni, and Clive Beecham, who is the owner of Grandy's Place, had put an advertisement in there saying that these studios were being built. And I thought, well, let's go and have a look. And we met here. It was a building site. I was the first one in, actually.
Really?
So I was outside working on a boulder in 2018, and then more people started coming at the end of 2018, early 2019, when we were finally given our keys. But yeah, I was here when it was a building site, and yeah, the rest was history, really. I sort of moved down, and then through the same patron that I knew in Kings Lynn, I sort of ended up moving to Norfolk, but working in Hertfordshire. So it was sort of yo-yoing between the two for a long time.
Brilliant. The big thing for me on doing the podcast is shining a light on people that are doing great things in the community. And we're so lucky as a town to have Grandy's Place on our doorstep. For you got all the people that you've got there that are, using your heritage crafts, maintaining that skill set. Is that part? You said you're part of Quest. Is that part of your remit as well as creating pieces? Is actually to pass on the skill set that you're developing onto the next generation?
Yes, completely. I'm really supportive of younger people, or not even, it's not even based on age, it's anyone that wants to participate. So I do run my own courses to try and get people involved. So that's at the moment, stone carving, letter carving, wood carving, although I'm trying to get the equipment together to be able to open up the doors for glass engraving, drawing classes as well. And I've been doing a course myself, which is hosted by a museum in Antwerp. So I graduate from that in September. So from that point, I can actually start running more courses again. But also, I do work in a local school, which I'm not allowed to give the name of, I don't think. So I won't do that. But I do work in a local school. I've worked for several primaries in the school as well, getting younger people involved. And eventually, I'll take on my own apprentices as well. So I always said 40 would be the age that I start to think about that. And that becomes October this year. So I'm sure that will be happening at some point.
If people are interested in either the courses or maybe even commissioning work with you, where should they go online to get in contact and start that conversation?
The Grandy's Place website for now. It has my contact details on there, and also the course dates are listed. Eventually, I'm currently building my website, which has been a long time coming. It's been a holding page for far too long. And eventually there will be a booking system on the website. But for now, if you just go to the Grandy's Place website whilst I'm sorting that, and just contact me directly.
Are you ready for some Stortford Spotlight questions now, Wayne?
Sure.
Excellent. These are 3 super fast questions that we ask every guest that comes onto the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast. First question. If you could put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, what would it say and who needs to hear it the most?
I think everyone probably needs to hear this, but it's a quote from my late patron, and he always used to say, be happy, do what you want in life, just don't hurt anybody. And I think that's a nice sort of mantra to live by, especially in a time where everything's so polarized as well.
Question 2. Where do you go in Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
I would say the countryside around Grandy's Place, actually. I tend to go for really nice walks through the fields, in the woods, everything else. And it's just nice to go and just lose yourself for a few minutes before coming back to the workspace. I was just going to say, from those in Stortford, if you find your way to Thorley Church, the walkway is through there. You go through the fields and then you can find Grandy's that way.
Okay, last question. Who's doing something special in town that more people need to know about?
Of course, I'm going to say Grandy's Place and plug everyone here. We've got a whole group of different artisans, craftspeople, conservators, from globe making, ceramics, stained glass, letter carving, stone carving, luthiery, all sorts of things, horology, like the list is endless. So we do run open days. We have tailored tours the first Wednesday of the month. And we occasionally have these bigger open days. One we've just had, there may be one coming up in Christmas. at Christmas, but it's being organised as we speak. Maybe something coming up through Arts in East Harts, which is a East Harts Council initiative.
Is there a real kind of collegiate atmosphere there as between all the different artisans and the business owners? Does everyone work together?
Yeah, we share advice, tools, all sorts of things. It's a nice little commune, and throughout history, you've had these little communes dotted around, Ditchling being one, and we've sort of got one here, and it's just everyone seems to get on, and it's just a nice little space to work. And of course, we've got nice views and the countryside around us as well, so we can just get on without sort of the hustle and bustle of the town.
Are you online as well? Like, have you got social media that people can follow along with the work that you're doing, Wayne?
Yes, some more than others. So Instagram's my main one at the moment. I have set up a YouTube page which will be coming up soon, but they all are at and then _Hart, HART_studio. I've tried to keep that consistent across all of them. So
Wayne, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode with Wayne, the best ways to support the show is to hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple or Spotify, and then share it on your socials. And if you've got a local legend, someone that's doing great things in the community that you think we should feature on the podcast, drop their name in the comments below and I can reach out to them and invite them on the podcast.